How you doing? How you doing? It's Chris the Method Man. And today, boys and girls, we have a special guest. FAMU, defensive lineman, Mr. Freshman, all time, Gentle Hunt. Man, it's a blessing. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, man. I appreciate it, man. As soon as I seen you inbox me about it, about the live stream, I was all for it. Happy to do it with you. Happy to do it with my guy Chris, man.
All right, bro. Glad to be here. So, to start off, we're gonna play a little game. Start bench cut. D lineman edition. So we got Aaron Donald.
Ooh,
We got T.J. Watt,
ooh,
and then we got Miles Garrett. So then you
ooh.
have to explain to me, bro. Who would you start, bench? Who would you cut? The
Man,
floor is
that's a
yours.
hard three. That's a hard three. I ain't gonna lie. Honestly, man, I ain't gonna lie. That man TJ Watt's different. But Miles Garrett is a guy too. In my opinion, for my favorite player, I gotta start Aaron Donald. You know,
Okay.
it's gonna be so hard for me to say like bench Miles Garrett or TJ Watt. I have
Yeah.
no idea. Both of those guys are some real freaks of nature. So I
Yeah.
probably have to say I might gotta bench Miles Garrett and cut TJ Watt, even though he just had the most sacks. But I feel like those two on one line can be havoc in the run game and pass game. Not like TJ
Mm.
Watt isn't, but those two are just crazy.
Mm. I mean, hey, TJ Watt's versatile too.
Oh,
So
100%. Yeah, that's why I made it so hard, man. If I could, I'd do
yeah,
vice
bro.
versa.
Yeah. Okay, bro. Okay. So how did you, I guess, growing up, how did the name Gentle just come up? Was that like a nickname or just, how did that come up, bro?
Nah, man, that's my real government name, like birth certificate. You
Oh,
know what I mean? So, um, my uncle's named Gentle,
okay.
and I guess I was just named Gentle right after. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and it's just this is my real government name. So there's no nickname, no changing, no anything like that. But yeah, I go by Gentle. That's what I like to be called. So it just always been here with me. So that's what it is.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So, what are your goals for the 2022 season? Because I know that you had like a breakout freshman year, and so just tell me where your goals are, bro.
Honestly, I don't really never make any personal goals. I always want to get better at my own craft and better myself. Better the team. I'm most definitely a team player. So my whole thing is just I want to win. You know what I mean? I feel like with this team, we have something to really prove coming back. Because I feel like we really trying to chase after that SWAC championship this year, and I feel like we really deserve them needing that. You know what I mean? So as personally, I don't really have any goals to better myself and better in the D line room and the defense all around us. To be the best. In the SWAC and sometimes in the nation. You know what I mean? Because that defense we had last year ranked as the best in the nation. So we try to most definitely double that back again. So I feel like we can most definitely do it.
What improvements do you think the defensive line and the offensive line can make from for this season? Because I know that y'all had like a heartbreaker from Southeastern. So how can
Yeah, yeah,
y'all,
yeah.
just improve from that?
My opinion, I pretty much say like Coach Simmons always say, be disciplined. You know what I mean? Because the more disciplined you are, the better. Let's say we jump outside twice a game. Those
Yeah.
twice a games can add up. You know what I mean? The top teams in the nation, the NFL, no mistakes. That's one thing. No mistakes. You know, so being disciplined is probably what's gonna win and cost us games for a fact. So coming back, actually understanding that can really, you know, do something with this team and take it a long way. It's just thinking, understanding what's really going on. So yeah, that's probably the biggest that we have to really concentrate on as a whole unit. Not just D line, O line, the whole team.
So do you think there's any teams that you're excited to play against in the SWAC?
Um, was definitely Jackson State. You know,
Okay.
I feel like we're gonna be like we want that one bad, back all over
Yeah,
again. Losing 6 to 7 at one point, just
yeah,
that hurt us the whole year. You know what I mean? So most definitely Jackson State. Um, Southern's always a great battle. You know what I mean? Southern, those big boys down there are really good, especially my first year playing against them. That was one of my wake up games that that was one of the best games, one of the toughest games I would say I played in. And then everybody's always ready for the classic. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So those are my top three, but most definitely Jackson State probably gonna take the crown with that.
Mm. Do you think like for Jackson State? Do you think y'all are kind of, I guess, like played out by the refs? Like the refs kind of blew the game for y'all during that Jackson State game.
Uh oh man. See, I don't want to get into that right there, boy, but you know, I feel like this. I feel like the game was pretty called. The game was called. It was called what it was called. You feel me? We can't bat against the refs. We gotta do what we gotta do to win our game. But did the refs play a little bit into it? Not my say so. But I know for a fact I know what we can do. As a fan U team. So you know, we'll just have to shake that off and come back this year and be a little bit more prepared. Like I said, no mistakes.
Okay. So do you think? What do you think about Deion Sanders? Um, I guess in some way paving the way for HBCU athletes to get to
Oh
the
yeah,
draft opportunity to make the team. So what do you think about that, bro?
I love it. You know what I mean? He is also a rival school, but he's a person. When he says like that J on his hat. You know what I mean? So I really feel like Coach Sanders is really doing a great job of pushing players out there, to show like, we all done came for something. We all played football with everybody. You know what I mean? We all football players. Everybody will chase that one dream of getting to NFL. So don't just look at the SEC or the ACC or the Big Ten, Pac-12, stuff like that. Like,
Mm,
the SWAC got some real ballers, and like we seen, this past year, especially with our guys, like Marquise Bell, Antoine Collier, and even the guys that got over there, like James Houston. So those guys can they some real ball players, and I feel like they can really do it at the next level. So I really appreciate, Coach Sanders and all the coaches, in the SWAC for pushing, that out there and saying that we got some real guys over here that can really play at the
yeah.
next level.
So do you think, I guess, in some sort of way, with HBCUs and PWIs, do you think y'all are just like overlooked, or do y'all think as being an HBCU, right? It can be some racism, you know, like just because the guy went to a small school, like what I'm saying, bro. So
Mm.
do you think the reason why a lot of these small PWIs, HBCUs, think the reason that they're overlooked is because of racism, or you know,
No, I wouldn't say because of racism. No, not at all, no racism stuff. 'Cause, I mean, we got some white guys on our team, and they some of the best players that that could be at another like another PWI. A little bit
yeah,
overlooked. I would say that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes every Saturday we might not be on ESPN 1, ESPN 2. You know what I mean? So you might not be able to catch our games as you would catch Alabama, Georgia, because they're gonna be on every single Saturday. You feel me? But overlooked, most definitely. No racism involved though. But overlooked, I feel like we could do a better job as you know at HBCU to get us out there a little bit more. Like why not put us on BET and play?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Or put us more on ESPN 2 or ESPN 1 and things of that nature. So
yeah.
overlooked for a fact.
Well, I heard about I think it was Jackson State, FAMU. That I think it was like the first televised game on ESPN, big time.
Big time.
But I feel like a lot more HBCUs need to be looked at, because I don't know all of them. I know probably North Carolina A&T, y'all, FAMU, Southern, uh, Grambling, etc. I know
Hmm.
them, but I don't know the Savannah States. There's a lot of teams that are just who have amazing NFL caliber players
Hmm.
who just get kind of just blackballed and overlooked
Right.
because of the school they
Yeah.
go to.
Hmm.
If you're good enough, then go to the NFL draft, go to the CFL, go to Japan. If
Hmm.
someone gives you an opportunity, I'll say go with it, bro. What you think?
Facts. Nah, I'm with you, man. I feel like everybody got a shot. What I mean, everybody got a
Yeah,
shot and a dream that they can do to make it to. It might not be the NFL, you know, but it can be the USFL, the XFL when they bring it back, or the Canadian League. Everybody has a spot somewhere. They try hard enough and push their stuff hard enough. So hopefully, all HBCUs can get up to our level. I would say we are blessed in that favor, to be crown one of the best HBCUs in America. You know what I mean? Public
yeah.
HBCUs in America, things of that nature. So, yeah, I am,
Academically
very
too.
grateful to be here. Yeah, academically too. That's what our coach push all the time. Outside of football, it's not always gonna be football. You know what I mean? So, had a great grades, had a good job, and a great family. Show some people that have kids that you can do it. You know what I mean? So, I feel like we are one of the best HBCUs to do things of that nature too.
Okay, I'd like to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
Well, piggyback up, man. If there was like any moment, you're you're a freshman right now, right?
Yeah, I'm going to my
Okay,
sophomore year now. Yeah, yeah.
okay. So, and 3 years later, right? You go into the 2 years. You might go out as a junior. So, 2 years or 3 years from now, if you're called to another league and you had to be, a journeyman, and then that fifth year, the Buccaneers call you, would you take that route in order to reach the NFL?
Most definitely. If need be, if things, stir in that direction, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's also a job opportunity that you meet. It is also a business. So if it needs to, like some people say, it's not in our time, it is God time. So if
Yeah,
that's the route that, God push us to go through, then yeah, I'm gonna take that route. You know what I mean? So anything to the life of my family, better myself as well. If need, it might take longer. It might not be right now like I want it to be, but later on down the
yeah.
road, if I take 5 years, 6 years, 7 years down the road, then we'll be right there waiting for it.
It's just having that faith.
Yes, sir. You know it.
Yeah, bro. So, going into high school, 3 star, having offers from USF, South Alabama, Middle Tennessee.
Mm.
Do you think, as a 3 star, that you deserve to be higher, or do you think that you were right where you know you want to be?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. There's always room for improvement. Back then, I would say I was one of the best D linemen. I was
Yeah,
stacked up against some of the best, probably in the state for a fact. Sometimes in the nation, I would say. You know what I mean? But I did get looked at by some bigger schools like Tennessee and Florida, things of that nature. And I was very blessed to, get looked at by those type of schools. Cause I know if they didn't send an offer, it could have been a preferred walk on. But at the end of the day, I caught the eye of a higher school, and it showed that I can play at this level anyway. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I would always say, I can't battle one thing. That's probably like my height. I'm not the guy that's 6'4", 6'5". Being 6 feet as a defensive lineman is something that people really don't see nowadays for real, especially let's say to be a good one like Aaron Donald is. So that's why I model my game after him so much. He paid the real way of showing that a small D lineman can most definitely do it.
yeah.
So most definitely I'm blessed to be a 3 star coming out of high school and showing these other big time programs I can do it at any level, even if it's at HBCU.
There was another. I think his last name. I don't know what his name was, but I think his last name was Campbell. He played for the Vikings. He was
Mm-hmm.
about maybe 5'11", barely 6 foot,
Mm-hmm.
and he became a Hall of Fame D lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So bro, it's just having that heart, having that mentality that God gave you. You know,
Right.
Philippians 4:13. You can do all things. no matter what size you are, you know. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, bro. So it's just knowing that word, bro. Knowing that God is giving you that strength to do anything, no matter what size, you know. So yeah. So why was FAMU the choice for you? Like what drew you in to that school?
Man, I ain't I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, man. It was probably the family atmosphere. You know what I mean? Plus, South Florida was 2 hours away. Now coming up north, it was 2 hours away from where I stayed in little old High Springs, Florida. So coming closer to home was always a big thing for me. If it wasn't for just going right to the University of Florida, but most definitely the home feeling. I come through here and during my recruiting process, I was going through a lot of family stuff. But when I was talking to Coach Simmons and shout out to my old coach that was here, Coach Street, my whole thing was, let's not talk about football all the time. You know what I mean? I'm also a person
Mm,
outside of football. You know what I mean? So that when they came around, it was never always talking about football. It was about the family. What I want to do later on my career, things of that nature. So some coaches don't take the time out of the day and do that type of stuff. So
yeah.
that really played a big part of my career. Like, I'm more than just an athlete. So let's talk about something a little bit different. And they took the time out of the day and they did that type of stuff. That changed up a lot for me.
Bro, I don't know what I was feeling right now, man, but that was deep. That
Yeah,
saying more than an athlete,
right,
because just seeing just seeing other coaches, especially other PWIs, it's all about the money.
the money,
But I feel like with a lot of coaches, you need to have, I guess, that fatherly, you know, impact on the kids.
right.
Like it's not just football, you know.
Hmm.
So I think I'm glad you said that, bro, because that's just more than an athlete.
Right,
You know, you're a person. You know,
right,
this is only you never know what will happen, man. Football is only temporary. You know, so it's like just having that family atmosphere, knowing that you matter. That's the best feeling ever.
right.
So, going back, 2020, 2018, 2019, whatever. Did you play any other positions other than D lineman?
Nah, I was always a real D lineman. I always play a little bit of end, but that's
Okay.
all in the D line stuff. But some we had a couple plays where I tried out tight end. In my high school, how I did catch a touchdown pass. They ain't nothing too big to really brag about, nothing like that. But nah, it was D line was always my big thing. You know what I mean? It's just something I perfected my craft after, and that's what I really stuck with.
hmm So, so if you were in a position where you had to be, I don't know if you know who the fridge is. You know,
Mm,
like would your coach ever say like for you to run the ball like just you know was there ever a
coach,
moment like that?
it was like
Okay.
it was my junior year. My junior year, we ran the ball. They gave me it, and I didn't get that far because I feel like when I got in the game, everybody knew who the ball was going to go to. But nah, it was a crazy moment, especially like going like I was saying at tight end. I caught an old touchdown against my rival school, so that was pretty big, I would say. Uh, but if duty calls and we gotta, get the
Yeah,
best 11 on the field to win the game,
yeah,
Carl's
bro.
in the hunt. He ready to do it.
Yeah. So, what was your greatest, I guess, moment from uh just the season?
Oh man, this season. The touchdown and the classic was a big one, but that's probably everybody really know like the biggest one about me was. But I'll probably say I probably got 3 sacks against a Quill Glass. That was a big one to me.
Well,
NFL talent. Quarterback out of Alabama A&M. Yeah, getting
Q.
3 sacks with him was Quill Glass. He was a great, great, great quarterback this past year. So getting three
Yeah.
sacks on him was one of my other really great accomplishments. You know what I mean? So hearing those was just really fun.
Is there any like I guess any SWAT quarterback that you really want to sack right now, but it's like a real problem?
Oh man. Not really. It's no beef and nothing like that. But I didn't get a chance to sack the Sanders kid from Jackson State. I missed a
Okay.
couple opportunities with him. He is a really good quarterback, especially being a young age like I am. He showed us that he can most definitely be one of the best. Growing up with us and the swag and things of that nature. So probably trying to sack him. That's probably a big one. You know what I mean? If it come, it come. You know what I mean? I really
Yeah.
want that one.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I feel like Shador. I feel like he kind of plays like Brady. You know,
Yeah.
like he can't run, right?
Right,
He can run a little bit, but his arm is just kind of deadly.
right.
So I feel
Yeah.
like if y'all stop that, that's game over.
Right. Yeah. Right. He's a great quarterback. All props to him. He did his thing as just coming in college and almost winning the Celebration Bowl, but also being a SWAT championship. For that Jackson State crowd over there was pretty big for him. So he's gonna have a really great couple years in college football. Most definitely, all props to him though.
So if there was a situation where like Shador was like, forget Jackson State, I'm going to FAMU. What you gonna think about that, bro?
um, I mean, I'm gonna take it like I take everybody else that come in here. If if you want to come in and you want to win and be probably one of the best HBCUs in the nation, then come on. That all arms open to anybody and everybody, no matter where your background was. You know what I mean? Even if you're from the rival school from Bethune, you know what I mean? Just now you're a Rattler and get greeted with some real Rattler pride. So we with it for anybody. But just know that you are coming to one of the hardest working HBCUs and one of the best defenses and the best offenses in the country. So we gonna be no short of anybody that come through here. Everybody gonna get the 100% out of us every single day.
So, who is your motivation? Like, who inspired you to become the man that you are today?
Oh man, uh, my family pushes me really hard. My mom, my dad pushed me really hard. Growing up in the country, not having too much. Showing that coming out of a small town can do it. I don't know if you know Limbaugh Joseph. He was a D tackle for the Vikings for years. Now he with the Chargers in Los Angeles. But he came out of the same town I did, some county I did, Alachua County, when it was Santa Fe High School, right up the road from High Springs, where I stay at. He came out, made a big name for himself, and now he's in like his out, God, maybe like 12, 13 years in the NFL, maybe. So seeing him do it, you know, from a small town and being motivated from that really pushes me as well. So them two, my family and most definitely Lamar Joseph. I have really good contact with him. You know,
Oh wow!
him and his family. So seeing him do it, I can most definitely push to be one of the greatest as well.
Oh wow! So that's kind of like I guess like a little brother, big brother, bond in a
Right,
way.
right, right.
Okay, man. I might have to interview him, bro. you know. So, yeah, man. So, other than football, right? If you didn't have football, right? What would be that sport that you would, I guess, try out or just play?
Oh man, I ain't gonna sit him. I ain't lie to you, man. Baseball. I
Okay.
never played it, but baseball is one of the things like you could play for a long time, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you won't get as hurt as you would in football or something like, being a professional bowler. You know, seeing things like that really opened up my eyes to be like more than just football. But baseball probably number one,
Mm.
getting paid more than football players sometimes for just standing in the outfield. Not saying like one of the easiest sports, but most definitely hitting a ball and running around a couple bases. Sound
Okay.
pretty simple, but I know those guys are really, really, really good at what they do. But most
Yeah.
definitely baseball.
Okay. So, do you think just, I guess, going to HBCU? Do you think you know it's more meaning to it? And can you explain? Can you please explain what does it mean to go to HBCU?
I feel like it is deeper, than going to a, PWI because I feel like as being a black school and black people, we already had a chip on our shoulders coming out the
Yeah.
womb. You know what I mean? So that's a plus. Seeing guys actually chase their dreams from nothing. You know what I mean? Or getting declined from a PWI because his grades aren't the highest, but black school accept them, and then him coming in to here and making a brotherhood or a bond of some people that don't even know guys' background and struggle. I feel like come from here is way bigger, and like let's say we have a homecoming, you see people come back every year. It's packed down here in Tallahassee every single year. I feel like it means 10 times more because, like I said, as a black person, how much struggle that we had to go through to
Yeah.
just get here to where we are today. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And prevailing that and going bigger and beyond what people could even imagine what you was already gonna do in life already is just it means a lot more. It means way more than I can even try to explain. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I mean, only God knows, what our future holds. So,
right,
yeah, bro. Just look at all these former HBCU athletes, bro. Like Mathis from Alabama A&M. D Lyman uh, played for the Colts for like 16 years. So it's like, man, I feel like if a lot of scouts stop overlooking these small PWIs, HBCUs, it would have been better off. Because
right,
I just because just seeing just the draft in general. Like some guy who goes first overall can play 3 seasons,
right,
and but then there's one guy who's like a fifth rounder who plays for 18 years.
right.
So do you feel like, well, the question I'm asking, bro, do you feel like that the draft matters, or you think you know it's just to give other guys the opportunity?
Not always. Nah, because like I said, we say like a guy like Bell, for example. You know, one of the best hitters I ever played with it in my life. To be honest with you, very smart guy. Know what he got to do. But seeing seeing people that go to Alabama, seeing when he plays, and then people try to criticize about the schedule and things of that nature. You know, that's just like saying about Darius Leonard. You know, the D line from the coach you was talking about. He came out of South Carolina State and still playing in the league to this day. You know what I mean? So the draft, I would say it matters and does not matter. I'll say like more so with the money wise. You know what I mean? Because you can be a first round talent and be a bust, but you got a guy like
Right.
like everybody said, the best quarterback in the world, Tom Brady. What almost last pick in the draft, seventh round, sixth
Yeah.
round type of guy, and he got the most rings and will go down as the best quarterback of all time. So I feel like it just doesn't, it's not always like that. But some guys can come out of high school as a 3-star and they have a bigger chip on their shoulder. Not everything is given to them. Like let's say you're a 5-star and everything was pretty much scripted
Mm,
through your whole career.
mm,
Everything's so given to you so easily and simply. But being as a 2-star, probably no star guy, no offers, went JUCO, went to a bigger school, went to the NFL draft. Now you're making millions. Those type of guys that mean more. They want it way more than guys that always had it. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I like those stories way better than the guy that grew up in a 6-figure house and always
mm.
had their mom and daddies around. But the guys that had nothing and grew up with their grandparents and
Yeah.
came out, out the mud, as people would say,
Yeah.
those type of guys that I like to hear their stories way more. way more because they really went through something that a lot of people in America do go through. You know what I mean? So, the draft don't mean too much. I feel like you can play football, you can play anywhere. So,
Yeah, I'll give you an example, bro. Shannon Sharp, the guy on Undisputed, uh,
right.
just I guess 8-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer, went to Savannah State, and just growing up, he grew up in poverty, you know,
Hmm.
and then he just said like, I guess on the podcast, he just saying like how he had to, him and his older brother, you know, they had to get out the mud. Like they didn't have a bathtub, they didn't, it's just it's how they lived. So I love those guy out the mud stories, those underdog stories like Rudy. I love those stories, man. you know.
Yeah.
So, bro, other than your greatest football athlete of all time, Aaron Donald, who was that? Who was that athlete growing up, other than football, that you were like, oh, that's the goat for that sport?
Oh man, that's easy. Uh, I'll say everybody's got to be one of everybody's favorite athletes. Got to say LeBron James.
I
The
do it.
golden
Yeah,
child, the
bro.
golden child. That man. He never got in any trouble
No.
to this day. You know what I mean? And still putting up some of the best that he put up probably in his whole life, being 18 all the way to almost 40 years old. You know what I mean? But he's like 36, 37 years old, and he's
Yeah,
still being
yeah, no,
consistent to
he's
this
up
day.
there. He's 37.
To this day, he's being consistent. Never got into any trouble. He's one of the athletes that like he should be modeled after everybody. He's the guy that everybody should look up to, in my opinion. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And also be one of the best, the greatest basketball player of all time, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So LeBron James is that guy. He's that guy.
Yeah, I feel like LeBron James as well, bro. No, I guess just watching his games over time and being part of my childhood, I was like, he's the GOAT. I
Right.
don't care how many rings he got, he's the GOAT.
Right.
So, bro, I thank you for coming on my show, man. Any accolades that you want to just, talk about, bro? Come on to the show, man. I'm gonna give you my contact, man. Then we'll chop it up again. So, bro, I just thank you. It was fun, man, getting to know you, bro. And
Yes, sir.
you have a blessed one.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Appreciate you, Chris, man. You the best.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you. That was Gentle Hunt. All right, knuckleheads. This is Chris the Method Man. Subscribe to my channel. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.